Hi. Um, Today we are going to discuss a very important topic in the field of electrostatics, that is Gauss's law. Look at the picture here. In that picture, there is a child. Look at the hairs of the child. It is getting repelled. This is due to the electrostatic or electric flux. In the last video, we have discussed the electrostatic flux. And what is electric flux? It is nothing but the number of lines of force crossing through a given area. Now, in this session, especially the Gauss's law will give me the description relating to electric flux and also the electric field and also the charge and also the area. And now one more thing I would like to tell you that for the electric flux, I told you phi is equal to E into A. Or in other words, I can say the number of lines of force is inversely proportional to area, or electric field is inversely proportional to area. So what is its meaning? When the area is less, electric field will be strong or more. When the area is large, the electric field will be less. That is why when I move away from the electric charge, the electric field and also the electric flux electric lines of force will become lesser. Okay, now the first one, if a charge q is enclosed by an arbitrary closed surface, then the total electric flux phi e through the closed surface is equal to q net charge by epsilon naught. Remember, this is very important relation. That is, phi is equal to q by epsilon naught, or phi is equal to closed integral. Look at the symbol. This symbol denotes the closed integral. The closed integral means whatever may be the area. Okay, I have to conclude whatever may be the shape, I have to conclude the total area of the particular shape. Okay, right. The next one and in this diagram will give me the information about how or the relation between the electric flux, charge and permittivity, and of course everything is related to the electric field. So Gauss's law will give me the information to me the electric flux, charge, permittivity and also the electric field and also the area also. Okay, right. Now, and charged spherical surface. Suppose consider the charged spherical surface. We know that for the charged spherical surface, the lines of force are radially outwards. Okay, and so look at this diagram, radially outwards. Okay, so when I am considering radially outwards, the electric field will also be radially outward. Okay, suppose if I will take any one of the area in over there, okay, this will be there. This is the important thing. The area vector and also the electric field vector is parallel. Okay, for the spherical surface, when it is being parallel, okay, the EDA will become maximum. So phi will be equal to EDA. So what is its meaning? Phi, the electric flux is a vector quantity, and especially it is being parallel to the value. When it is being parallel, I will get the maximum value. And so by considering the overall, I can write phi E is equal to E dot dA, and when I consider for a spherical surface, dA is equal to 4 pi r squared and E is equal to q by 4 pi epsilon naught r squared, and when I substitute instead of E, q by 4 pi epsilon naught r squared, which is equal to E, and this is A. Okay, so when I multiply E into A, I will get 4 pi into 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q. So I can cancel 4 pi. So finally I will get Q by epsilon naught. Okay, so this is a explanation for the electric flux, right? Now phi E is equal to Q by epsilon naught. It's a very important equation, I already told you. So it is equally true for any arbitrary surface which encloses the charge. So with any surface in containing the charge q, okay, it will be exhibiting the electric flux, and especially that the electric flux will be equal to q by epsilon naught. And it is seen that the total electric flux is same for a closed surface A1, A2, A3. Look at the diagram. That diagram, the electric flux is depend only on the charge, not on the area. It is a very, very important thing. Okay, right. Now we are going to discuss the Gauss's law. Maybe for you it is an important question. Okay, right. The first one is the total flux through the closed surface depend only on the charge. Listen, only on the charge. Okay, not on the charges present outside the surface will not be contribute the flux. Okay, so I have to consider only the system. If I consider any system, in that system what are the charges available? Outside the system I don't need to bother. Okay, right. Now look at the diagram. In this diagram it will be given plus 5q and minus 2q is present inside the cube and minus 10q will be outside the cube. Now what is the net electric flux in the given cube? Okay, so here the net charge inside the cube is plus 3. I already told you. Okay, therefore the total flux will be 3q by epsilon naught. Remember, the charge which is outside the system will not contribute any flux. Okay, minus q will be lie the 10 outside the cube. Okay, then the total electric flux is independent of the location of the charges inside the closed surface. Wherever I will be locating the charge inside the particular system, okay, it doesn't necessary or it doesn't need to be known by the electric flux where it will be located. It can be located anywhere. But the thing is, Gauss's law only intimate the quantity of the charge, not the location of the charge. That's a very important thing. The shape of the Gaussian surface to be chosen depends on the type of the charge configuration. Okay, and the cylindrical and planar Gaussian surface can be chosen. Then the equation Q enclosed by epsilon naught is the electric field due to the charges present inside and outside the Gaussian surface. Okay, but the charge Q enclosed denotes the charges which lie only inside the Gaussian surface. The outside the Gaussian surface will not contribute anything in the electric flux. This is what I have already told you. Gaussian surface cannot pass through any discrete charge, but it can pass through continuous charge distribution. It is because very close to the discrete charges, the electric field is not well defined. And what is its meaning? Here, if I consider any of the charge or a conductor, in that conductor I have to consider the charges will be distributed uniformly. So what is its meaning? The Gaussian surface or Gauss's law will only applicable for the uniform electric field. For the non-uniform electric field, it is not possible to apply the Gauss's law. Okay, and the last one is this is another form of Coulomb's law, and it's also applicable to the charges in motion. Because of this reason, Gauss's law is treated as much more general law than Coulomb's law. Okay, so children, the Gauss's law is very, very important question. Okay, and the discussion of the Gauss's law is also an important question. And whenever you are watching this video, it is advisable to keep the textbook with you. Then only it will be more helpful to you. Thank you. Hari Om.